So, trying to get out of here. It's Thanksgiving night, and so it's really hard to do anything. So I have to put my phone on the dash so I don't get distracted. It just seems like every year Thanksgiving night is always the hardest. Make sure I got my phone turned up. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping I do. Anyway, somebody mentioned earlier on my YouTube channel that they wish I had longer videos when it comes to stuff like the recent one has to do with codes and symbols and part of Gangstalking and things like that, and the spirit world and whatnot. And it's very interesting, but it's very complicated stuff, extremely complicated. And I hope I'm doing this video, it's not edited, because you know, I'm gonna just directly post it to YouTube when I get home. And I thought about doing that with the exception, there's got to be two things in the exception of this. And sorry it's dark. One, I got to make sure there's going to be enough people that are interested, because, you know, it's going to be complicated to explain. A lot of it deals with complicated stuff. And let me turn this light on. Maybe you can see me. It deals with a lot of complicated stuff. Like I said, numbers and things like that, because a lot of the stuff that I went through, and some of it that I still go through, is very complicated. Because it's one of those things where you, like I said, you can't prove it physically, because they have a way of doing it where you can't prove it physically. We are in a day and age where with technology, unlike the 90s when this was going on, there wasn't cameras and things you can catch people with. You had to do it your own way without cameras and everything. But today, it's a little more complicated because of cameras and everything. Everybody's being watched, and it's so easy to catch people that with today's technology, that it makes things more complicated. So they tend to be more sinister, and they tend to be more a lot better at hiding it, or a lot better at doing things to you without proving it, such as when my emails were hacked. So I, you know, tricked them by making a fake email that I was talking to somebody, and I caught them because they actually fell for it. Anyway, it's a long story, but I want to make sure that if y'all are interested, let me know, that I will make more of these videos. I should make more videos where I'm not sitting in front of my computer. I actually can go and show you the areas where certain things happen to me and what actually happened, and make more of those videos, which I'm thinking about doing. So let me know if you would like me to do more. The recent one I thought was interesting, has nothing to do with this person in the 90s. When I went to Anaheim, California, about a month ago or so, this happens sometimes. Dealing with, you know, stuff, spirit world stuff and all that, God, Satan, all the like and everything, of my entire life since I was born. There are things that tend to happen to you that doesn't happen to the normal amount of people. So I've stayed in maybe 4 or 5 hotels when I was trip to California and back. Maybe 4 or 5 hotels. But what's interesting is 2 hotels I stayed in, I didn't have any issues or any problems. One particular hotel I stayed in Anaheim, I could not sleep at night because I felt like I was being watched. The entire, 3 nights, 4 nights I stayed, 3 nights I stayed in Anaheim, I felt like I was being watched. So I couldn't shake it. I know it was more, you know, ugly, the ugly side of it, demonic side of it, because I felt uncomfortable. If it was something else, I wouldn't feel so uncomfortable. But this went on night after night to the point where I couldn't get any sleep at all. And I didn't hear any sounds or anything. I just felt it, and it kept waking me up. It's almost like somebody that just keeps irritating you in the night and keeps waking you up, and then you try to go to sleep and they wake you up again. It's almost torture. Okay, so when that ended and we left and we stayed in another hotel, I didn't feel that way. Then we stayed in another hotel and I didn't feel that way. So it's too coincidental how it happens to certain hotels or certain places once in a while to happen. You would think that if it was a person, like if I was emotional, if I felt stressed out or depressed or something, it would happen all the time. But this is just some random thing. At that time, I wasn't feeling like I was upset, I wasn't stressed out, I wasn't depressed, none of that stuff. It just randomly happened out of nowhere. And once in a while that'll happen. I'll have no trouble at all, no stress, nothing. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'll wake up at night feeling like I'm being watched. Usually 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but sometimes it'll be all night long, and it just happens out of nowhere. There'll be those days where I can go on for months and not have this issue, and then just that one night, out of nowhere, I wake up in the middle of the night and it'll irritate me because I feel like somebody's staring at me, and I feel extremely uncomfortable, like it's somebody that you don't like, or somebody that really bothered you in your lifetime, like a bully or something. And it just drives you insane. I mean, not insane, but it really bothers you. So I've had that particular thing happen since 1999, but I would have other issues as well, but that in particular. But that was a common problem since 1999, because every time I woke up and I felt a presence like that, I felt like it was the same person or the same character. The characteristics never change. It feels like it's the same character that keeps doing it over and over and over again. So anyway, I just thought it's a little bit complicated, and sometimes it's extremely complicated. That's why I wanted to see if you were interested, because there are some that make comments on my YouTube say, I don't understand what you're talking about. That's what I mean. You're not going to understand what I'm talking about. Some of you will, some of you won't. Some of you are going to like hit the nail on the head, and there are others that are going to have to think about it for a while. That's where the numbers come in and things like that, because you have to use your intelligence. You have to think about how you're going to win, or how you're going to, because you can't just win on normal circumstances. You have to create a complicated, very complicated scientific method to come up with evidence for your own personal reasons. So you can say to yourself, hey, I know this person did it because this doesn't happen. You can't prove it, but you know in your own mind it was them or this and that. So anyway, like I said, it's very confusing. Let me know if you're really interested in if you're interested in me doing more videos like that, because I really would like to, because I have a whole gob of things on my mind that I can actually talk about, but I just didn't think people were that interested or pretty bored with it. Like, you know, it's kind of one of those things where everybody's interested in watching video games on YouTube, or somebody traveling around the country all the time and things like that. But you know, what makes millions of followers. But let me know. Actually, when I started looking into Gangstalking, there's maybe 1 or 2 videos on YouTube. If I was lucky, I would find something online, and it did a lot of research trying to figure it out. Now there's like videos after videos after videos after videos on YouTube everywhere on Gangstalking. So I think it's really, really interesting how more and more people are becoming victims of this. So anyway, and I think it's more than human. I think a lot of it has to do with spiritual, governmental, and cult. So anyway, let me know if you're interested. I would like to do more. And trying to get over and get home, but these people are just getting in the way. Too many out tonight. But let me know if you're interested. I'd like to do more videos, and I'm finally home, and we'll see you. Talk to you soon.